Hey, brothers, I'm Victor Love, and I hope you're doing well. I want you to know that I'm on the couch getting help. I have a therapist. I've been diagnosed. I'm not crazy, and I don't feel crazy. But I've made some constant mistakes in my life that I regret. I've apologized, and I've forgiven myself and others for the things that have been done by me and to me. More importantly, I want to become the best version of what God intended me to be. So buckle up and come go for the ride. This is your man, your brother, your friend, Victor Love, and let's go for a ride. Today, I'm going to be taking you guys on a journey of my experience of getting on the couch and my why and my reasons and how I got in this space and my purpose and my mission for all of this. So let's just take it from the top, right? Um, I'm on the couch. And what that means when I say I'm on the couch, I'm really telling you all that I have a therapist. And I started in 2018 with getting on the couch. And by the time COVID helped hit, it really allowed me to go even deeper in my sessions with my therapist. And keeping all things 100 and truthful, um, I always wanted to get on the couch, right? I I knew I was stumbling in some areas in my life, and for me, uh, my past is drug addiction. My drug of choice then was cocaine, and then I found myself overcoming that with the help of the Lord, as well as even with that, even in that journey, they tell you about it's your people, places, and things. I added two things to that, and that was settings, putting God in your life, setting some goals for your life, and then watching the people, places, and things in your life. So as a result of that, I found myself in a relationship that I really wanted to work, and we both had our own battles and struggles in our life and traumas in our own life, and we felt like uh, we were clashing too much. And even with this being for us brothers, I know you guys can relate to this. Oftentimes, when we are in these spaces with relationships, we actually are the ones being attacked, and everything is our fault. And I don't agree with that. And I'm not saying we're not at fault for certain things, but I think if us men would be honest and us brothers would be honest in relationships, they do a lot of things that piss us off and hurt our feelings. And because we've been built a certain way and been trained a certain way to not express our feelings, and we have to man up and we have to show toughness, and we ain't supposed to cry, and all these other BS labels that they put on us, uh, we typically don't say anything. We just take what, not just women, but even this world sometimes, we've gotten bad raps of being deadbeat fathers and absentee fathers and sperm donors and all of these different negative labels as black men. And as a result of it, I discovered through this relationship that from my experiences, women typically don't really care about our feelings and things that hurt us. And if we man up and say something about our feelings, then we're too sensitive. We're on the down low. We might even be gay. Not that there's anything wrong. If that's your thing, that's your thing. But we get all these labels for just expressing ourselves and the things that hurt us, that are concerns for us. And it's only about what everybody else wants out of us. So I was really led to get on the couch by myself because in that relationship we were still clashing, and it hit me one day, guys, that um the problems that me and the young lady was having had really nothing to do with either one of us. We had personal issues that we needed to resolve and come to terms with and forgive and release. And if we did that, then we would be in a better space of communicating with our loved ones or our significant others. We would be in a better space to communicate at our jobs and not be so paranoid or whatever. But we hold all of these things. And I'm just thankful that I got on the couch however I got on the couch. So, and as I got on the couch, I started realizing that there was certain traumatic life occurrences that had taken place for me, primarily with relationships. We can talk about my upbringing where my father left at an early age. I probably was in the fourth grade, if my memory serves me right, when my dad left my mom. And what's interesting about that, brothers, is that I never heard my mother and father argue or fight. And all I know is that my dad was working for CTA, back in the late 60s, early 70s. He actually retired from there. And my mother was this dietitian, working at hospitals in the culinary space, working for Howard Johnson and doing her private catering until she um, opened up, restaurants with her sister. Was the first restaurant was with her sister, and then she went on and did her own thing. But to say all of that, I never seen them fight or argue, never. And all I know that I remember is one day my father wasn't there. They didn't sit me and my sisters down and say, hey, me and your daddy, this is what we come to. They didn't explain to us that this had nothing to do with us. They didn't do that. And I'm not faulting them or saying anything about it. They did it the way they knew how to do it. But it was a very smooth exit. It was nothing. We just came home and he wasn't there. So even as I unfold my story, I have to realize that in its own way, that affected me to the point that it shaped and helped mold my thinking, my rationale, my emotions, my everything. Now I'm at what is it, 10, 11 years old. I'm somewhat the man of the house now. I'm watching out after my sisters. My mother has opened up a new business, and it requires her not to be home a lot. Um, but we never wanted for anything, any material things. We always was provided for the right way. We were always cared for the right way, and I thank God for that. But I'm just saying these things to you, brothers, that you have to figure out and go back and play over in your life things that have possibly affected you without you even knowing it affected you. So again, my daddy not being there, my mother working a lot to provide for three kids that we could live on a certain lifestyle. Uh, then being moved to be raised by my grandmother, which was a beautiful thing. Rest in peace, Margie Wade. That's my baby. Um, and then to find myself coming through, trying to find my way, uh, with not having a father in my life to teach me certain manly things. But I thank God for my mother's brothers and her brother-in-laws. They're the best because those were the male influences that put their hands on me, that taught me how to cut grass and put me in organized sports and disciplined me when they needed to discipline me. But it didn't replace, and it couldn't replace what I was really longing for with my dad. So in that space, um, right now, I'm on my way now. I'm taking you guys to meet my doctor, my therapist, Dr. Skinner. So you guys are going on a ride now. We're getting ready to go and meet with Dr. Skinner. She's a female doctor, therapist, African American woman, and it's uh, it's a beautiful thing. She's been very instrumental in my growth over the last few years. Uh, It's been cool. It's been helpful, and I'm still on the couch. So my mission and my reason and my why is that I actually saw DJ Twitch. Forgive me, y'all know what it is, right? DJ Twitch, who I don't know personally, but the day before he took his life, he was on TikTok dancing with his wife, his kids. From my understanding, Ellen was retiring. She had put him in position to have a multi-million-dollar deal show of his own. So there wasn't going to be any financial problems. I didn't think the brother was going to have, but I don't know. But the very next day, this brother took his life, and it hit me like a ton of bricks. Like, brothers are checking out of here. Brothers are taking their lives, and brothers are uh, not talking to their children, and brothers are disconnected from their wives and just tapped out. We're not present in our communities because of the weight and the trauma and the things that have happened to us that we don't think is cool to talk about. So we hold it in, and we're walking time bombs.
The tragic news made official. Twitch's death was a suicide. He killed himself with a gunshot to the head. The medical examiner closed the case with that ruling as new details are emerging about his final days. Sunday, he danced with his wife at home. Tuesday, she rushed to a police station, telling cops she knew something was terribly wrong because Twitch suddenly left the house without his car and would not answer her calls. TMZ reports Allison was so insistent that her husband's behavior was out of character that police considered listing him as a critical missing persons case. LAPD examined Twitch and Allison's home for any video clues.
West Side Unit, I've been CV investigation.
Before a 911 call led them to his body at this Encino, California motel.
I talked to a friend of mine, and he's going through some things in his life. Excuse me. And got it. And he's I asked him a simple question. I asked him, I said, "Do you cry?" And he told me, he said, "No, I'm not really with that shit." And I didn't say anything else to him, but it told me a lot about him and what space he's in and how it produces certain energy for him. So I'm on my way to Dr. Skinner's. You guys are gonna see that episode coming up after this one. And I just want you guys to stay in tune. This is going to be a real powerful podcast. We'll be shooting it in various different cars because, us brothers like cars. Y'all like my shirt? I got you to say, I'm showing you, let's go for a ride. My shirt is even going for a ride. But I want you guys to follow me on YouTube. You just type in "Let's Go for a Ride" with Victor Love, and you'll be able to find me on all the social media platforms. And I'm gonna have several different types of guests in the ride with me. There'll be pastors because we need to talk about the couch and and Christ, because I believe there's it's necessary for both when you find yourself needing a therapist. But I'm a believer, so I'm mandated by the word, and I want to follow those principles. But I needed somebody that I could touch and talk to in the flesh that could help me work through some things and give me some tools to know how to function without hurting myself or hurting anybody else. So look for your man, your brother. I'm just encouraging all my brothers, get a checkup from the neck up, man. It doesn't mean you're crazy. Doesn't mean you're anything but needing to help somebody to help you figure some things out, teaching you how to forgive and release, because that's part of our biggest problems. We've held on to some hurts, and it has blocked our growth. It has stunted our success, if you will. So, come on, brothers, let's go for a ride. Follow me. Let's go for a ride with Victor Love. Peace.
Thank you for riding with Victor Love. Catch us every Tuesday at 6 p.m. on Spotify, iHeart, Pandora, Amazon, Apple, and wherever you stream your podcasts. If you or someone you know is in a mental health crisis, dial or text 988. Help us there. And brothers, don't be ashamed to get a checkup from the neck up. We'll see you next Tuesday.